We're now in Chapter 5 of the Pivot Table Data Crunching book, and we're on page 120, which is a case study summarizing next year's forecast. We've been given the initial revenue forecast for next year, and our task is to take those numbers and create a summary report that shows total revenue forecast by market, total percent growth over last year, and total contribution margin by market. So we'll start with our data. We'll insert a pivot table. The fields we're going to use are market, revenue last year, and forecast next year. We're going to do some formatting to our table. We're going to go to Design and Pivot Table Tools. We're going to go to Report Layout, change that to Show in Tabular Form. The other two columns, we're going to right-click Number Format. We're going to change that to Currency with no decimal places. Click OK. We're going to do the same for Forecast, Number Format, Currency, 0 decimal places. OK. And you can see we've completed part 1 of our task. We now have total revenue forecast by market. For the next two parts, we'll need to add in calculated fields. So we're going to go to Analyze on the Pivot Table Tools tab. We're going to go to Fields, Items and Sets, Calculated Field. We first want to look at percent growth over the last year. So we're going to name this field percent growth. The formula that we're going to use is going to be forecast next year divided by revenue last year minus 1. So we're going to put in open parenthesis. We're going to double click on forecast next year, divide by, double click revenue last year, close parenthesis, minus 1. Click OK. Then we're going to go to right click and change the formatting in this column to percentage with 1 decimal point. Click OK. We have now completed the first two tasks, first two parts of our task. Next, we're going to go to Analyze, Fields, Items and Sets, Calculated Field. This time we're going to name this one Contribution Margin. The formula we're going to use this time is variable cost next year plus forecast next year. Click on OK. We need to go in and change this formatting to currency with no decimal places. Click OK. And we've completed the entire task. We now have a report showing total revenue forecast by market, total percent growth over last year, and the contribution margin by market.